Hi everyone, let's talk about AMC Entertainment Holdings. Will they get squeezed or not next week? Market cap is quite big, so I'm not sure there's a lot of space to move, but 22 billion is a huge number. It's basically, let's talk about the fundamentals and technical analysis. And it's a company through its subsidiaries involved in the theatrical exhibition business. Snowflake analysis shows pretty red, so that's why many of the companies are shorting this one. Revenue is forecasted to grow 40%, 43% per year. It has highly volatile share price, as we see in here. For example, there's a pretty huge volumes are back in June and also the May and also last year's beginning, I guess, and also the January. So if we look at this screen, those who did not remember how it went, so I guess those who invested in January, maybe December, they are pretty much, almost 3,000% of return. Even they didn't sell here, they are almost 2,000% in the returns. This has grown hugely, and I remember in January was the first peak, as we see. Those who invested 800%. Then it went back 70% on the negative. So this is the volatility that is on the market. So don't be surprised. Within next few months, 80%, and since that, huge upside, 500%. So this is the volatility, and those who invested here at the $62 are currently minus 29%. And they also printed some shares out, that is diluting the shareholders' equity. They have negative shareholder equity, and currently the company is unprofitable, not forecasted to become profitable in the next 3 years. Also, they have significant insider selling of the past 3 months. Let's check that out. Last price and events, we saw a lot of trading halt, below change, earning updates. That is leading to the market performance. 1-year return 527. Whenever you are a trader, so many of the traders who brought here, for example, and did not manage to sell, they usually become holders and long-term investors. That's funny thing. And bigger frame, 3-year return 121%, 5-year 45%. This is long-term price volatility considered as pretty high volatility on the market, and industry itself is more volatile. Valuation side, so here's the basically based on fundamental analysis. This is overvalued hugely. Not the biggest number I've seen, but anyway, almost 7,000%. Fair valuation should be around 0.62%, and T-Rank does have better price target, $8, 8.17. In good scenarios, it could be reaching the $16. And you see here, analyze the rating consensus, 3 on hold, 2 on sell. And it's downside 81%. So be careful, guys, on this kind of movements. Many on the comments say like AMC to the moon, me as well, but there's like never know, it could drop to this number that it had been last year or in April or so on. Anyway, the downside is forecasted here on the analyzed price targets, average 5.4. So whenever I believe it could be even 1,000 or $100, it doesn't matter. The big players and many of the retailers could possibly affecting on the stock price. And if you have the belief in the company, you just can buy within 1% of your portfolio. Just not invest all your money and try to believe that this could be happening once again, like over 2,000%. Because I burned myself by investing in these kind of companies where I invested in the peak when there was a lot of the comments, a lot of the hype, when everybody said that it's going to be X10, X1000, X100, 100,000 and so on. But basically it went only down since that when I brought. And yeah, it could drop minus 40% within weeks, within months, within years. And that's why it's most important to diversify by companies, by industries, by time, and so on. And try to not invest in all your saved money in one stock and hoping that it could the invested money could do high returns, because mostly those traders that are came to the market, they are pretty hungry, and in 95% within 5 or 10 years they lose all their money. So be careful. Future growth for the company is forecasted annually 59%, and earnings per shares growth is forecasted as well as to grow, but not to the positive side. Past performance, so historical annual earning growth decreased by 72%. They had this kind of quarters when they were on the profitable, but then they somehow managed, yeah, of course not somehow, but because of the virus they did not sell, and yeah, the revenues dropped significantly. That is not surprise for anyone. But the lowest point were at 4.5 billion and currently 2.7 billion. And we'll be back to checking the shares and the dividend cut that they had. Financial health side, there's, yeah, as I thought, the equity went to negative side. They have a lot of depth. I guess they printed some of their shares out to refinance their business. Cash 1.8 billion, debt 5.5. That's huge amount. And of course it's a serious situation. Balance sheet looks green. There's a 5.5 billion on liability side. So this kind of research you need to make. Therefore, when you invested on higher points, so whenever you believe, for example, it could double itself, it could be in a price at $100, for example, but once you checked the fundamentals and technical analyze, you could possibly know that it could drop down. So I won't invest all my money. I would invest, I would hold, for example, long. So I think you would not buy on the 60 and try to sell when it's at 30. You're still holding, and that for betting better holding position, you better know the fundamentals. And yeah, dividend, I guess they cut it to zero. Yeah, actually zero on the dividends, and there's a forecasted dividend yield I'm not sure when they would possibly paying dividends. 0.031%. Actually, it's seen here end of 22. And yeah, future payout to the shareholders is, yeah, it would be paid, paying the dividend while loss making. Pretty much from the depth. Let's skip the management side and insider transactions. There's mostly individuals, company. So here it is. Dalian Hexin investment, $500 million sold on May. Other companies, yeah, I guess, I'm not sure, but there's many sellers there and nobody on the buyer list. So whenever many of them saying that this is best investment, it could be. And of course, for those who invested earlier, this is actually flight to the moon. This was the actual flight, but then it dropped. So I'm not sure would it drop once again or not. The short float is not on the top list, so maybe we'll see some of the correction, but it's pretty risky. Ownership breakdown: general public holding 74%, institutions 25%, insiders 0.3%, state or government 0.03%, and private companies 0.002%. Top shareholders, we see almost everyone is green. The California State Teachers Retirement System decreased by 2%. Others are increased pretty significantly. Vanguard holding as a top shareholder, $2 billion in valuation. BlackRock, $1.3 billion, adding 11%. Last reporting holding date, end of June, and also on the Vanguard. Yeah, so this graph showing that it could move on this tunnel. So the max price could be around 57, the lowest 22. So there's a lot of this kind of movements when you never know where it could go next. But I guess this could drop to 40 or even 30 if there would be a lot of a short float and a lot of a shorters, then they could be squeezed, but I'm not sure about that. Shares outstanding, as I said, when the companies are making this kind of movements, it's very good to print more shares out to finance the business, and that is what they are making. Total sales decreased since the pandemic and by 77%. That's a lot. And investing.com, summing the stock for long-term investors as a strong buy. By moving average, buy, and technical indicators, strong buy. Let's have a look at the comments. Will be amazed this week if it doesn't go up. Looking at the chart, yeah, there is high possibilities that it could go up if there would be some sort of squeezing operation. Was centrally falling wedge. It now has some work to do. Remain bullish, has good support here and several levels down to 38 for those who look for solid statistics. Yeah, I'm pretty much of this. So those who need and look at the solid, statistically strong entires, I think the short week will be keep volume down. Best luck. Yes, agree. 10 million more borrowed shares to keep this down also. Love to know what loophole they will have found over very soon. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful. Remember to subscribe to the channel, to not missing the new invest ideas, and like this video or dislike this video, leave a comment, and all best luck to the investment, long-term investment.